I took these photos in East London, and in this video I'm taking you along on a walk from Custom House to Woolwich in East London. It was an after-work adventure with Steve and Zino exploring some areas that were new to me, including the Temps Barrier and the Woolwich Ferry, which is the highlight of this walk, I think. I took the Elizabeth line to the Custom House station, and then I started the walk by exploring the area around the station. Since London City Airport is really nearby, I waited for a few planes to approach the airport. Low-flying planes always make a great backdrop, and I think they also add a bit more context to the photos. This day I had two film cameras with me, my Leica M2 with a 35mm lens and my Olympus Mu1. The Leica was loaded with Kodak Gold and the Olympus was loaded with Kodak Ultra Max. These are my two favorite everyday film stocks. There were some nice old shops in the area, and of course I had to capture those too, and I really like how these photos from around Custom House Station turned out. A little later, Zino and Steve joined me, and we headed towards Royal Victoria Dock to cross the footbridge there. The bridge is actually quite an impressive structure by itself, and you get a fantastic view of the dock and London City Airport from above the bridge. I was hoping to catch another plane coming in, but the next scheduled arrival was over 30 minutes away, so we just decided to keep on moving. On top of the bridge it was super windy today, but still I managed to get a few decent shots on the bridge, and I think you can actually see how windy it was in the water. I especially like the abandoned mill in the foreground on these photos. I think they add something really interesting and add a bit of context. After crossing, I tried my luck getting a few more shots of that abandoned mill, but everything around this area is fenced off, so that was a bit tricky. We kept on walking, and on the way to the Temps Barrier I took a photo at the pontoon dock DLR station that I really like. The composition is really simple and straightforward, but I absolutely love how the shadow of the roundel and the colors turned out. Definitely one of my favorite photos from this walk so far. We then continued to Temps Barrier Park, which is a lovely little park right next to the Temps Barrier. The basketball court there immediately caught my eye, so I took some film photo cliché shots, but I'm actually really happy with how they turned out. After the park, we walked alongside London City Airport, and visually there wasn't anything interesting going on, but I still took a few frames here and there to document how the area looked around the airport. Eventually we arrived at the Woolwich North Ferry terminal and hopped on the ferry to the south side of the Thames. We were the only foot passengers, which meant lots of room and lots of photo opportunities on this short ride. The ferry is free, runs every 15 minutes and takes just about 5 minutes to cross the Thames. The light during that short ride was soft but a bit hazy, but I think Kodak Gold captured it beautifully. I'm really pleased with how those ferry shots turned out, and I think the ferry is definitely worth checking out. Once we got off the ferry, the Woolwich ambulance station really stood out to me. It's just an ordinary ambulance station, but the light hit it just right. I really love photographing boring everyday places like this, and I think the shots around the station actually ended up being my favorite photos from the whole evening and from this walk. On the way to Woolwich Station we passed a garage and a car wash, and after a few initial photos with the 35mm lens I switched to my 21mm lens to get some wide angle shots there, and again I'm really happy with how those photos of these ordinary places turned out. We wrapped up the evening at Woolwich Station and took the train home. It was my first time properly exploring this part of East London. I had only been out here before for the photography show earlier this year at the Excel Centre, but I never just walked around and explored this area. Evenings like this, wandering through unfamiliar areas, taking photos with friends and having no real expectation or goals are what it's all about for me. It's not about chasing dramatic sceneries and landscapes. For me it's about documenting everyday life and finding the beauty in mundane places. I try head out on walks like this as often as possible whenever work and weather allows it. This year, one of my goals is to document more of these walks and little moments. I hope you enjoyed this video and thank you so much for watching. Feel free to subscribe or give it a thumbs up and see you in the next video. Cheers!